Welcome to the I Triumph Real Estate Blueprint Podcast, where greatness awaits you. So, when it comes down to
Yes.
managing the project, is there support mechanisms that your company has in place to help the potential homeowner deal with and manage that project as far as that renovation is concerned?
Yeah. So the lender does not manage the project.
Okay.
So what happens is the borrower would actually hire a licensed general contractor.
Okay.
So if it's paint and carpet and if it's something like that, you may not need a general contractor for that. Okay. But um in order to use a renovation loan, you have to have a licensed contractor on that job.
Okay.
And you can have a few if you have small things that have to be done, but when you're talking about managing a project, you want a licensed general contractor who can manage that project. Now, that's one of the deterrents. Okay, is that people get into a space of, oh, I can't do all of that. Okay, so the first thing to know is this, is that the lender knows that the buyer is a buyer. The buyer is a regular consumer. We're not talking about, people who have construction licenses and home improvement licenses. They're just regular buyers. And so this is where our guidance comes in. Our guidance comes in with first having an educated realtor that they're working with, a realtor who understands the renovation loan and the renovation loan process. The other thing is having a lender. So just because a lender does renovation loans doesn't mean that they really do renovation loans, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
They may have the ability to do them, but don't do enough of them to do them well.
Right.
Okay. And so
Right.
you want to make sure that you're working with a lender that has maybe like we have a renovation department, and that's what they do. They manage that process from the beginning to the end. So we manage the process, the draw process, the transferring of the money process. No money gets sent out unless somebody comes out there to look at that work. Okay. So we manage that part of the process. But as far as like how, the timelines and meeting timelines and when the work is going to be done and what's getting done, the general contractor is working with the buyer to make sure that's done. And that's why it's very important that buyers interview contractors, talk to a few to make sure that you're working with someone who is reputable. And, if they're not calling you back in the quote phase, you may want to move on.
Right,
Okay.
right, right. Yeah, you may want to move on if that's the case.
I always know that whatever's good gets better, whatever's bad gets worse, right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
if they start off and everybody doesn't connect well, and so you got to make sure that you connect with them, because it could be a 3 month, a 6 month project, and you want to make sure that you have somebody that you connect well with. You do your diligence in terms of, checking them out, getting some reference. We're going to make sure that all their licenses and everything is in place, that they're insured. So this is not your uncle and them.
Right,
Okay.
right,
This
right.
is a licensed contractor, has to be on involved in a renovation loan.